Hi everybody, I'll try to make this quick so that the video can fit and I can actually send it. Okay, so hopefully you've been doing all those other little exercises I've given you. The turnout exercises, we'll talk about those later when we see each other tonight in our live chat. Just be doing those. I'm going to show you another turnout right now, but right now let's do something for our feet. Let's extend our feet out to the front. We're going to circle our ankles. Before you do any of the things and reverse, make sure you do some kind of a little warm-up, a very gentle, doesn't have to be a deep or a big warm-up, and then we switch, flexing and pointing the opposite feet, just to get those ankles and toes and bones and muscles warmed up. Good. So I'm going to work with my right foot first. I know we did talk about this before in class, and this is one we did before. Make sure you are continuing to do it, and that's the doming. It's where we grip the toes and squish them back toward us, and it creates the dome and the arch of our foot. Make sure you are continuing to do those. I will not spend that much time right now on it, and do the other foot. You can easily be doing these throughout the day, doming, okay? Working on these intrinsic muscles here. So going back to my right foot, another one, this is something else we have talked about in class, and it's the toe swapping. It's where you have your little toes down on the floor and the big toe up, and then you switch. Little toes up, big toe pressing down, and then you switch again. Hopefully you can see this. I have the camera kind of far back, and up and switch and switch. Toe swapping, switching those toes. Another thing you can do is the piano playing, where you have all your toes up and you are putting one toe at a time down on the floor like this. It would be like this with your fingers when you do this, but with your toes, okay? From the pinky toe to the big toe. That's the easiest one. And then we also want to work from the big toe down to the pinky toe. This one is harder, and you may have to use your finger to help put those toes down. And the big toe to the pinky toe, big toe to pinky toe. And if you don't get it perfectly, that's not really the point. It doesn't matter. The point is that you're working your toes, and to do both feet, toe swapping, big toe down, little toes down, switching, little toes up, big toe down, switch, switch. You may have to use your fingers to help you at first until your muscles get used to doing the toe. Can you see? Swapping, big toe up, little toes down, big toe down, little toes up, swap, swap. And like that. And now piano playing, but with your toes, okay? Starting from the pinky toe to the big toe, and then from the big toe to the pinky toe, and switch it. Yes, those are little tiny things for your feet that you can be doing. Now, on to the next thing again, turnout. I have been emphasizing turnout a lot. Before we do that, you'll want to warm up your hips, doing some hip mobility. Oops, my things are in my way. So you want to get those knees all the way right and left. You can do it with your hands on the floor. That's the simple version. The harder version is with your hands off, up. Hips, knees, hip mobility. It's a good warm-up, keeping those hips loose, preparing them for dance or exercise or whatever. Okay, so now to my little props. I have yoga blocks. Okay, and that's what we're going to use. But if you don't have yoga blocks, it's okay. Use a book. I've got the Complete Works of Shakespeare and Complete Works of Jane Austen. Find books that are similar in height, okay? So I've got my books right here in front. They're separated a little bit. I'm going to put my feet on the books, and I'm going to flex my feet. Okay, and I have my feet, what is this, turned out. My hips are rotated, and I'm pressing my pinky toes into the book. Okay, so this is how we're strengthening our turnout. I have my feet out, and all I'm going to do is press the outsides of my feet down into the floor as I lift and I lower. I'm strengthening. Press those pinky toe sides of your foot into the floor as you lift and lower. Again. Lift and lower. A good way to check the strength of your turnout is to slowly move your feet closer together and off the books. So say I take my heels off the floor, off the books, excuse me, just a little bit. I'm pressing my pinky toes and I lift. Ooh, is it becoming harder? And I lower. I push into the floor and I lift. I need to keep those pinky toes in opening my turnout, and I lower. And now, can I have just the ball of my foot on the book and my heels up, turned out as I lift and lower? It's a lot harder, okay? So that's a good test how good your turnout is. So as we practice keeping the feet completely on the book, pressing those pinky toe sides, the lateral sides of your foot down into the floor or into that book, or a block if you do happen to have yoga blocks. And all we do is lift the hips off the floor into a reverse plank,